Morning, folks, morning. Alistair Prime here, coming at you again with another toy review. This time, we're reviewing all three of the combaticons we have so far. So far it's just Blast Off, Brawl, and Vortex, right? Out of the Age of the Prime line. I got my pre-order in for Onslaught. I'll wait around August. I don't mind the wait. I heard last night from Chris Jenham that, shout out to you, brother, we're getting Swindle supposedly on Tuesday. Hopefully that remains true. So anyway, let's go ahead and do our review real quick of all three of the combaticons that we have so far. So let's go ahead and put two of them to the side. So we'll start off with Brawl, right? Now Brawl is a nice chunky figure. I like Brawl the way how he comes. He's nice and solid. No issues here. My only biggest complaint with Brawl, I'm sure others have had it too, is this whole big screw thing in the middle. Like, why gotta be there? Why can't that be covered, you know? And then the whole thing with the stress mark. Hang on, let's see. I don't want to really expose it too much or do too much with it. Now, let's pop these off, right? Come on, work for me here, folks. It might be a little hard to see on camera, but my copy has the stress mark right there. That's my only real downside to this figure, I want to honestly say, is just that. It's just the stress mark. But other than that, great figure overall. So let's go ahead and see. He has good articulation. Do a full rotation. He can do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. He has ankle pivot, right? And then limited head rotation. Can rotate it completely, but he can't really look up and down too well. But that's just what that is with him, right? Let me rotate the camera a bit. Uh-oh. So anyway, that's Brawl so far. So let's go ahead and get down to transformation, shall we? So first thing you want to do is open up the chest plate, right? Put the head in. Let's work on the arms, right? As well. Get these treads out the way. Open that up. So let's go ahead and swing all this up like so. Let's come down here to his feet now. I just did this yesterday, so it's still fresh in the mind. Right? Wait, actually, no. Yeah, let's do this. I love how engaging he is, honestly, in terms of transformation. So, apart from that, now, tuck these in like so. Rotate this like so. Wait, make sure all that is squeezed in, right? Then take the treads, swing them over like so. Make sure everything locks into place. arm in there now. Bring down this side, clean that up now. So let's see here. Get this side in as well. Come on, work with me here. And then there we go. That is Brawl so far. So let's go ahead and put his accessories on. Uh-oh. And then let's just flush this out a bit, right? And then there we go. That is Age of the Primes Brawl in his tank mode. Overall, it's a nice cleanup, right? Unfortunately, there's some slight visible head syndrome. And I'm not really fond of that, but hey, it is what it is though. Overall, it's a nice guy. Nice guy. Right? So in the meantime, let's go ahead and push Brawl to the side now. And let's bring in our next combaticon. And for the heck of it, the second one. Or in this case, the third one, however you want to do it. Blast off, right? So let's go ahead and see. Full range in motion of the arms, right? Can do a full John Claude. His head can actually, hang on, sink in like that. Not really giving like that whole, could probably give that whole Superman flying vibe thing, since he's a space shuttle and all that, but other than that, that's really about it. So, as for accessories, he just comes with 2 of the same guns, really. There's really not much else to really write home about with this guy. Other than that, I love the paint applications on all the combaticons so far, to be honest with you. I'm okay with the Decepticon symbol on the back. And of course over here on the fins of the shuttle. Other folks may have an issue with it. I don't know. They might do something about that with toy hacks. But let's go ahead and get down to transformation. So let's go ahead and get the arms in like this, right? And then let's do the other arm. Get this nice and rotated. And then let's get all of this nice and situated. And then let's bring up this piece here, right? And then the legs are pretty simple. It's just like the aerial bots in Vortex. Just accordion this stuff in. Do the same on the other side. Accordion in. Come on. It just makes a little more sense for Blast Off now because he's doing it from the back instead of the front, like how it is with Vortex. But you'll see in a minute. But overall, it's a nice cleanup. Uh-oh. What happened? This don't want to tab in now? You better work with me here, folks. So yeah, it's like I said, overall, it's a nice cleanup. Decepticon logo on the bottom here, on the chest, and the wings, the main nose cone, I guess you could say. Let's go ahead and put on his weapons. Although I've never honestly seen a space shuttle with weapons before, so it's kind of like, eh. Oh, hang on. It looks a little crooked. But other than that, that is Age of the Primes Blast Off. So let's go ahead and go blast off. And bring in our last combaticon now, Vortex, right? Our first combaticon in the line, right? Our very first one last year. So, I know there's like this thing where you can pop these things off and then pop them back on, but I'd rather just keep them on like that, to be perfectly honest. So he comes with 3 guns, all molded out of gray plastic, right? So you can do a full split. Arm is in the way, that's all. Limited head motion. Arms can rotate all the way. Just got to get the helicopter blades out of the way, or just maneuver around them, however you prefer, right? And that's really about it. Bruticus is going to be a skeleton combiner, so him and Blastoff are going to split off into halves. So I don't know how well that's going to work out, but we'll figure that out when we get there. So let's get down to transformation again. So we're going to start here at the bottom, right? And then we'll leave this open for now. So let's bring up the head, turn this around, bring up this face plate here. Come on. Cooperate with me, darn it. Get that sitting all nice and flush like that. So what you also want to do here at this point, I mean, you could take off the blades if you want to. For some reason, mines don't want to come out. There we go. Every time. So let's get the helicopter tail going. And then we'll get this in as well. And then try to get all of this to cooperate now. And then accordion all of that in there. There we go. Close this up. Why does it feel like I did this wrong? I probably did. But for simplicity's sake and for the sake of the video, let's go ahead and put on the chopper blades back on and the guns. And then this is gonna be it for Vortex now. So this is Combaticon Vortex in his chopper mode. Overall, nice looking chopper, I must say so myself. You know, I just realized the molded plastic here that looks like landing gears. They could have just give him actual landing gear, apart from the head back here. Like, he could have used a bigger landing gear, in my honest opinion. But other than that, oh, I didn't rotate this. The tail. I know some of y'all might flame me in the comments like, oh, you did it wrong. This at the third. It's fine. Oh, well, yeah, I did do it wrong. It's not fine. Hold on, let's try and fix that. Because this piece, hang on. Actually should be like this. And then this actually should go, hang on, this way. There we go. There we go, I corrected myself. And that is, so far, Vortex. So let's go ahead and bring them in with the others. And I must say, I like what I see overall so far. I really do. Out of the combiner teams we have so far, seems pretty nice. I mean, I have no real issues with the Superion combiner team or the Constructicons we got, or even the Minosaur. Some folks, I don't know, just can't be satisfied with what we have. So let's go ahead and get them back in the robot mode. Right? Gotta untap all this. And unaccordion all of this now. The head is the most tricky part of this guy. In my honest opinion. And get the arms back and situated. There we go. Gotta hear that click, you know? Give him back his guns. So we'll put you off to the side for now. Let's bring in Brawl. Untap all this now. And let's go ahead and do this. You know who Brawl's transformation reminds me of? Like, in terms of, like, with the treads and the involved, like, the fact that it's so involved reminds me of Impactor. And almost a little bit like Demolisher from Armada's toy line. So we're gonna fold up these. Bring in the arms like such. There we go. Wait, come on. Now you don't want to cooperate with me, that's why. You big hulking brute. Get your head out of there. He just arrived yesterday, so he's kind of still tight. So I will not be attempting the foot configuration just yet. Some folks have done it already. I'm just gonna wait until Onslaught arrives before I even attempt anything about that. And that's Brawl back and armored up in robot mode. There's Vortex again, even though we just saw him. Get this out the way. You know what, let's just pop this off for now. Tab all that. Let's also split this down the middle. And then there we go. Undo that. There's his head now. Oh, let's close up the rear blades here. Uh-oh. Looks like there's a bit of a stress mark there. Don't know why. Maybe because I'm doing it too rough, I guess. Only time will tell. Get this out the way like that. Darn it. Stupid arm. Should be sitting flush like so. Hang on. There we go, like that. It's just these stupid things on this arm, man, I tell you. Maybe that's why some folks don't like this figure too much, but hey, I'm okay with it overall. Screw it, I'm just gonna keep them like that, right? So, overall, that is Vortex back in robot mode. Let's arm him back up with his propeller, his blaster, and then his other two guns. I wish there was a way to really what was it? To combine all three of these guns or something. But there's not. Don't know why. I'll put one on the forearm like that. And just leave it like that. And there is Vortex back in robot mode. So overall, it's a nice little combaticon family start so far. Hopefully, Onslaught and Swindle do not disappoint. Other folks are already complaining about Onslaught. Honestly, I feel like just wait until you have him in hand. The same thing with Swindle. Wait till you have him in hand. That way you don't have to complain. Save what you're complaining for later. You know? Honestly, overall, I see no real issue with Brawl, apart from that screw and stress mark, right? My only complaint with Vortex is these little things on his arms. I know they can pop off, but I like to keep them on. They're a bit of a headache, but other than that, it's really about it. And the little back propeller of the chopper, one of them showed a little stress mark, I think it was. I don't know if that's always been there, but it is what it is. And then, of course, my only real complaint with Blast Off over here is when you're trying to pull his head back out into robot mode, it can be a bit of a pain to come out. But other than that, that's my general take and review on the Age of the Primes Combaticons so far. I will see you guys again for another review And hopefully by then, we'll have Onslaught and Swindle in hand. And maybe I might just do Bruticus as well, as a whole. Alright guys, this is Alistair Prime signing off. You'll get your Metal Gear Solid Delta video soon, before the day is done. Take care, stay safe.